Good evening. Prime Minister Andrew Holness expressed disappointment in the opposition People's National Party not supporting the extension of the state of public emergency. The government's bid to secure an extension of the state of public emergency has been blocked in the Senate. The PNP members of Parliament and senators voted against the extension of the SOEs in the upper and lower houses last week. This means that the security measures which were imposed in 7 parishes on Tuesday, November 15, do not have the opposition's support to go beyond the initial 14-day period. Senators voted along party lines. At least one opposition vote was needed for the measure to be extended. This means that the state of public emergency will expire next week. Prime Minister Holness expressed that he is disappointed in the opposition not voting to extend the measure that is saving lives and keeping our country safe.
I've just received a very disappointing news that the opposition senators could not find it in themselves to support a measure that would save Jamaican lives. I must say, however, that I'm not surprised. The opposition had given signs, indicated that regardless of whatever convincing arguments we would provide, they would not support the state of public emergency. There is no question whatsoever of the effectiveness of the tool. Contrary to what they have tried to position in the minds of Jamaicans, the state of public emergency is constitutional and no court has ruled otherwise. And therefore, the tool is lawful and it is effective. Nothing else should really matter other than those two critical points. Points about consultations, points about whether or not they got the regulations in time. Those are points that we would not dismiss.
Mr. Holness also pointed out that the measure is reducing crime.
If the measure saves lives, if the measure is going to keep Jamaicans safe, if the measure improves security, if the measure gives strategic and additional resources to our police force to carry out their work, then all the other issues are secondary indeed to that. And so I have to now be thinking in my mind, do we have an opposition that will cooperate to conquer this crime problem that we have? Do we have an opposition that really and truly has the interest of Jamaica at heart? Or is it the case that their interest is to see the crime monster get out of control for them to reap the political benefit? These are valid questions that the Jamaican people must ask. Where is the interest of the opposition? Is it with saving the lives of the people? I think today the opposition's commitment to Jamaica is in question.
Meanwhile, opposition spokesman on national security Peter Bunting has hit back at Prime Minister Holness for his chastisement of the People's National Party for not supporting an extension of the state of public emergency. In a statement yesterday, Mr. Bunting sought to ridicule the idea that any fall-off in murders was due to the SOE, suggesting instead that the apparent respite in killings was caused by the 2022 World Cup now underway in Qatar. Mr. Bunting said that the Jamaica Labour Party administration and persons in the private sector organization of Jamaica, the PSOJ, have been trying to suggest that the decline in murders for the last couple of weeks have been due entirely to the states of emergency. He further said that a year ago, November 2021, when Jamaica had states of emergencies declared, murders went up by 37% in the first week and continued in the second week, adding that they are using this particular time as a justification. The former security minister under the PNP added, quote, "They had states of emergencies in 2018, 2019, 2020, and every one of those years, murders were significantly higher than any year between 2012 and 2015 when there was no state of emergency," end quote. And despite being one of the 3 western parishes which falls under the state of public emergency, Westmoreland continues to see an increase in murders since the start of the year. The most recent killing occurred yesterday in the White House police area, where a motorcyclist was shot and killed and his pillion shot and seriously injured. The dead man has been identified as 22-year-old Jermaine Vaz, otherwise called Kid, unemployed of Sunset Drive, also in White House. Reports are that about 2:30 a.m., Vaz and a 28-year-old fisherman were traveling on a motorcycle along the Onchowindown main road in the parish. On reaching a section of the roadway, a white motorcar drove up behind them and the occupants of the vehicle opened fire, hitting both men. Mr. Vaz lost control of the motorcycle, which crashed along the roadway. Both men, who received gunshot wounds to their upper body, were rushed to the Black River Hospital, where Vaz was pronounced dead and the other man treated and admitted in serious condition. Since the start of the year, the parish of Westmoreland has recorded over 128 murders, with 2 murders being reported over the past 2 weeks within a state of public emergency. In the meantime, a motorist was killed yesterday when gunmen opened fire at his vehicle at the intersection of Spanish Town Road and Weymouth Drive in the Kingston 11 area. The deceased has been identified as Kennedy Admonson, otherwise called Gaza, a 38-year-old upholsterer from Water Street in Kingston. Reports are that about 3:15 p.m., Adamson was traveling in a motor car along the roadway when, on reaching the traffic lights at the intersection, he was attacked by 2 men on a red and black motorcycle. Police said the men opened fire at Adamson, hitting him multiple times in the head and upper body. Mr. Adamson managed to drive away from his attackers, but his car stopped about 300 yards away after colliding into several drums along the side of the road. Mr. Adamson was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the attack. And Mello TV will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. A 28-year-old Tarando Spence of Carrawena District, Petersfield, Westmoreland, was charged following the seizure of a firearm and several rounds of ammunition during an operation in his community yesterday morning. Reports from the Withorn Police are that about 6:40 a.m., a joint police military team was patrolling the area when a man was seen acting in a manner that aroused their suspicion. He was accosted, searched, and one 9mm pistol fitted with a magazine containing 15 9mm rounds of ammunition was removed from his person. He was arrested and subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. An Ananda alert has been activated for 13-year-old Davana Ranking of Spinners Lane, Kingston 20, who was being missing since yesterday. She's of dark complexion, medium built, and about 5 feet 2 inches tall. Reports from the Duhaney Park Police are that Davana was last seen at King David Drive in Kingston about 3 p.m. and has not been heard from since. When last seen, she was wearing a blue jacket and a pink and black skirt. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Davana Ranking is being asked to contact the Duhaney Park Police at 876-933-4280, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. 3 people remain hospitalized after 2-vehicle collision on Constant Spring Road last night. It is reported that about 9:30 p.m., the driver of a Nissan AD wagon allegedly ran a red light at the intersection of Manor Center on Constant Spring Road, causing a Toyota Hiace, which was traveling in a northerly direction along the thoroughfare, to collide with the Nissan, which ended up on the median. The occupants of the AD wagon and the Hiace were rushed to hospital immediately. Both vehicles were badly damaged. The police have since launched an investigation into the accident. As we approach the Utah season, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, has heightened its security presence in and around the commercial districts across the island and along the public thoroughfares. The police are advising members of the public that they should adopt safety practices as they traverse the nation's streets to conduct business. Additionally, members of the public are urged to obey road signs and markings in order to reduce or eliminate road accidents and fatalities. The police advise that when taking public transportation, especially taxis, always remember the license plate number. the color and make of the vehicle. Always inform someone you trust about boarding a taxi, and be wary of drivers who ask you to divert from planned routes. Taxi drivers are also warned to be alert and look out for criminals who pose as passengers. Avoid carrying groups of men and be wary of passengers who ask you to divert. The police is also advising you that do not drink and drive. Have a designated driver when you attend events in case you consume excessive alcohol. Also ensure your vehicles are properly secured at these events. Obey the road code when traveling, as motor vehicle accidents tend to increase during the festive season. The police say they will continue to work assiduously to rid the streets of crime and violence, as they urge the public to report crimes to the police 119 emergency number, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Jamaica is reportedly among 84 countries affected by a WhatsApp data leak, with nearly 400,000 local phone numbers compromised. The announcement was made by online security publication Cyber News via its Twitter account. Cyber News' official website states that someone is allegedly selling up-to-date mobile phone numbers of nearly 500 million WhatsApp users from 84 countries. It is said a data sample investigated by Cyber News likely confirms the allegations to be true. It was reported that on November 16, a threat actor posted an ad, a well-known hacking community forum, claiming to be selling a 2022 database of 487 million WhatsApp user numbers with over 32 million user records included. Meanwhile, another huge chunk of phone numbers reportedly belonging to citizens of Egypt, 45 million, Italy, 35 million, Saudi Arabia, 29 million, France, 20 million, and Turkey, 20 million. The dataset for sale also allegedly has nearly 10 million Russian and over 11 million UK citizens' phone numbers, while 385,890 Jamaican records were noted. Cyber News added that this information is mostly used by attacks for smishing and vishing attacks. It is recommending that users remain wary of any calls from unknown numbers, unsolicited calls, and messages. WhatsApp is reported to have more than 2 billion monthly active users globally. JPS is again warning the public about a fake survey that has been circulating online, particularly on WhatsApp, claiming to be related to the government's contribution towards JPS bills early this year. Customers are being urged not to participate or share their personal information in this survey, as it is a scam. The government's co-pay plan, which started reflecting on bills dated May this year, came to an end in August 2022. Residential customers who qualify for the subsidy receive the benefit directly to their JPS accounts, which was reflected as a separate line item on bills. JPS is urging customers to stay alert and continue to protect themselves from unscrupulous online activities. Customers who are suspicious about promotions or giveaways are being encouraged to contact the JPS for more information via their social media platforms at MyJPS Online or their 24-hour customer care center at 888-CALL-JPS or 888-225-5577 or 888-935-5577. And that's our news package for this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV News. I'm Nicole Hales. Pleasant viewing.